Get ready for another heated Supreme Court battle. Liberal Justice Stephen Breyer will be retiring this summer at the end of the High Court's current term. The huge news leaking out before Breyer could officially announce it himself. Multiple sources tell Shannon Bream that the justice was surprised with how this played out. But President Biden and his White House claim they don't know anything about it.
There has been no announcement from Justice Breyer. Let him make whatever statement he's going to make, and I'll be happy to talk about it later.
The president has stated and reiterated his commitment to nominating a black woman to the Supreme Court, and certainly stands by that. For today, again, I'm just not going to be able to say anything about any specifics until, of course, Justice Breyer makes any announcement, should he decide to make an announcement.
Democrats are reportedly looking at ramming through Biden's eventual nominee and follow a similar timeline that Republicans used for Amy Coney Barrett. The White House confirming Biden's looking at a woman of color to fill the role, while getting pressed on who he may pick.
Is there any scenario in which the president would select his Vice President Kamala Harris for the Supreme Court?
Again, I'm not going to speak to any considerations, preparations, lists.
Just wondering, hypothetically, theoretically, would someone who was an attorney general of a large state and who served with many key Senate votes be an attractive candidate to the president for an open Supreme Court seat?
I see what you did there, Peter. But the president has every intention, as he said before, of running for re-election, and for running for re-election with Vice President Harris on the ticket as his partner.
So what would motivate a leak right before Breyer announces, possibly from the White House?
Well, this is super high stakes, and one of my favorite things to do is cover a Supreme Court nomination. So I was quite excited today when I heard about this. Obviously, Breyer has had a long career in the judiciary, not only in the Supreme Court, but before. And so this decision, it's such high stakes for any sort of president. I think now there is reporting that says his decision to announce was imminent and that the White House maybe jumped the gun by a hair, or somebody at the White House did, or maybe not the White House. I understand why, because they have a lot of work to do. You got to get everybody in line. Now, what did we report this morning on America's Newsroom? That Biden is losing in the polls, even with Democrats. So what is one thing that can focus the mind?
Yeah.
And that is a Supreme Court nomination. Now, because the filibuster rules had changed and you can get to a Supreme Court vote with 51 votes now, it's not as big a deal, but they only have 51 votes, right? 50 plus Kamala Harris.
Right.
The White House has also said it's going to be a judge. The president has said on the campaign trail it's going to be a black woman. So you could look at how many judges there are, and I would imagine we probably could figure out their names pretty quickly. That list will narrow down. Senator Schumer might not be the majority leader after the November midterms. So they had to do this right away. If they waited until the end of the term, which was in the end of June, that would only have given them 4 months. And I think a lot of people, including somebody like Kirsten Sinema or Joe Manchin, could have said, you know what, we ought to wait.
Yeah.
We ought to wait and see. This way they can try to get it done right away.
And now I guess the nominee has to go through Manchin and Sinema a little bit, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they hold a lot of cards.
I'm with Dana. This is fantastic. Immediately you think, okay, this is the best news Joe's ever heard because he needs a historical POC, right? Who's just hanging around driving him nuts right now? It's like he can unload the lemon and the lemon gets a promotion. I mean, that's amazing.
Win-win.
But I don't know if it's going to do it because it's such an obvious ploy. I think that Merrick Garland should come out and identify as a non-binary person of color and become a historical first. But I'll tell you this, whoever gets nominated, I'm going to say that person, be they male or female or non-binary, did something really bad to me. A long time ago. I'm not going to say what it is that they did to me.
Can you remember what they did?
It might have been, see, I don't know yet. It might have been college. It might have been like
high school.
Might have been in the gym. Who knows? But I'm going to tell you, whatever I say is going to be 100% true. It's disgusting, and I would prefer if you guys just respected my privacy when this happens. But the thing is, the question is, will the Republicans be as disgusting and partisan and vindictive as the Dems were on basically every single nominee? And I don't believe two wrongs make a right, but boy, it's going to feel good. I would rather have two wrongs. Sometimes two wrongs are better than a right. And in this case, I think that I want an explosive hearing with corrupt lawyers, freaky shrinks, the return of Jessica or Julie Swetnick. Got to get Avenatti on like a Zoom call from jail. I'm going to go and get my handmaid's costume out of storage, and I'm going to wear it at the Supreme Court steps.
Get your yearbook.
You know what, Greg? As much as we all want to see that, I don't think that's going to happen, Geraldo. Do you see this happening the way it would be if that had happened?
And I also call on Republicans right now to be gracious to the nominee. It's going to go through no matter what you do.
Gracious, yes.
Be gracious. Don't be like the Democrats. Don't torture the nominee. I thought that Kamala Harris would be a great idea. It was the first name that jumped into my mind. She could be a terrific Supreme Court justice, an appointment for life. She's only in her 50s. She'd be there for 30 years.
You think she would be a good justice?
I think she'd be a terrific.
You thought she would be a good VP?
You thought she has a mental
That was also
acuity?
true, but you know, it's a role fit for her. But
A lifelong appointment is a role for her.
It's not going to happen. They've already put out the D.C. Circuit Judge Brown Jackson, the South Carolina District Judge Michelle Childs, Leondra Cougar, all black women. It's interesting that it's definitely affirmative action, right? As they are considering the seminal affirmative action case against Harvard and University of North Carolina. So it is ironic.
Yeah.
It is ironic. But I'm all for targeted, there is no black woman on the court. Why not do it? And Republicans behave.
What about a Puerto Rican?
They have one.
You can't have more. Why not more, Geraldo?
Yeah.
More is more.
You know
Judge
what?
Janine.
She is my favorite justice.
She is?
What?
Sotomayor, she's the one who gave you disinformation on 100,000 kids dying from COVID. Are you kidding?
But she makes great rice and beans.
Why?
Geraldo.
You know what? Okay, that's
Is that even
that's
true?
The new standard.
I don't know if I made it
You
up.
made that up.
I made that
Oh,
up.
man, thank God that wasn't
So
me.
here's the thing. This is coming at such an opportune time for Joe Biden. The distraction is perfect for him. His numbers are in the tank.
Yep.
You know, now everybody knows Supreme Court hearing, nominee hearing, we can get crazy. We can go lunatic.
Live TV.
And you know what? And it is live TV. But I have to tell you, Geraldo, I'm tired of the Republicans, playing by the Marcus of Queenberry rules. I'm tired of that. I'm not saying you have to be an animal about it, but darn, let's just let people know we got a slap in there, too, when we can do it. And not everybody is perfectly clean. And you know what?
See a Republican
woman,
slap a black woman around? That's going to be great.
Come on. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about figuratively. What they did to Kavanaugh and what they did to Amy Coney Barrett, it was outrageous. And in the end, what Americans want is a judge who is justice, who is competent, who is smart, and who is non-political. We don't want politics in the United States Supreme Court. And you know what? If you want to pick a woman of color, that's fine. But just make sure she's competent. And there are competent.
This district court circuit judge.
You had your say. This is my turn.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So right now, you've got competent judges. You've got Judge Jackson. You've got Justice Kruger. You've got several of them who've already got Senate confirmation. So
Right.
it won't be that bad.
Right.
And you're right. 50 plus 1, that's all they need.
And Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin have voted for every judicial nominee that Biden has put forward already.
Oh, all right.
So far.
That explains
And the
it.
judge says the Republicans can play dirty. So there you go. There you go. You've been given permission by Judge Janine.
They
Don't
need
do
to
it.
To play
play
dirty.
like they have a backbone and whatever goes with that.
All right.
What goes with that?
I'm having an article published in the New Yorker. It'll be written by Ronan Farrow.
Where did she touch you?
I can't. I'm going to show you on the doll.
I can't. We're going to do that in the break.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.